It started with a garden gnome, a cheerful little statue my late wife bought years ago. Red hat, crooked smile, holding a tiny lantern. It sat under the oak tree by my porch, quietly greeting anyone who passed by. But in my neighborhood, quiet was never enough for the HOA. 2 weeks after I moved in, I got a notice. Your decorative lawn ornament violates Article 6, Section B of the HOA Aesthetics Code. I laughed at first. Surely, this was a mistake. I'd just retired from 25 years of federal service, now living peacefully, tending a small garden, minding my own business. But peace doesn't exist where power-hungry Karens run the show. When I politely asked for clarification, the HOA president, Mrs. Davenport, a woman who wore her authority like a crown, said, "We maintain standards here. No tacky displays." Tacky. That word hit hard. My wife loved that gnome. It wasn't decoration. It was her. So I refused to remove it. Within days, they fined me $200. Then $400, then a threat. If you don't comply, we'll pursue legal action. But mera paid? No mine. After all, I'd seen far worse battles in courtrooms. But then came the knock at my door, a process server, holding papers. The HOA was suing me for a gnome. The irony. I'd spent my career as a federal judge. I'd just retired last month. My name still carried weight on the courthouse walls downtown. And apparently, the HOA had no idea. I smiled, signed the receipt, and whispered, "Oh, this is going to be educational." Act 2. The showdown. The case moved faster than I expected. They filed it in district court, technically within my old jurisdiction. I didn't interfere. I didn't call anyone. I simply let the process unfold. When the hearing date arrived, I showed up early, dressed plainly. Davenport and her little army strutted in clipboard, smug smiles, pearls bouncing with each self-righteous breath. Their lawyer stood, clearly inexperienced, reading from a script about aesthetic cohesion and neighborhood uniformity. Then came my turn. I rose, handed my ID to the bailiff, and spoke calmly. "Your Honor, I'd like to request recusal on grounds of professional conflict. This court has previously served under my jurisdiction." The judge blinked, realizing who I was. Davenport's smile vanished. The courtroom went still. You could hear her swallow. "Wait," she stammered. "You're Judge Harrison?" "Retired," I said. "But yes, and you're suing me over a garden gnome." The room broke into muffled laughter. Even the clerk smirked. Act 3. Justice served the case. Was dismissed within minutes. The judge reminded the HOA of frivolous litigation statutes and suggested they review the limits of their authority. But I wasn't done. A week later, I filed a formal complaint with the State HOA Oversight Board. I detailed the misuse of funds, unlawful fines, and intimidation tactics, all backed by years of experience and documentation. Turns out, Davenport had authorized personal reimbursements from HOA dues for administrative expenses, thousands of dollars. Within a month, she was removed from office. The HOA board dissolved. And guess who was unanimously voted as interim president? My first order of business. A new bylaw. Residents may display personal lawn ornaments of sentimental or artistic value without interference. The gnome stayed, and every night when its lantern lights up, I can't help but smile. Because in the end, justice wasn't just served. It was beautifully landscaped. Moral. Power doesn't belong to those who shout the loudest. It belongs to those who stand quietly, with truth on their side.